Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing today? This is a bit of a different view than you're used to. So, I enjoyed the last cooking stream a lot, but my last flat wasn't really ideal for it because I didn't really have a separate kitchen. I just had a big open plan room and, you know, it was kind of awkward, but I had a lot of fun. So, now I'm in my new flat and I'm pretty settled in. I thought I'd give it a second go. And now that I have two webcams, I thought I'd experiment with my setup a little bit. So, got my old classic webcam here, so you can see me on the laptop. That's my laptop webcam of me. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words here. I have my old laptop webcam, the old classic one I used to stream on, so you can see me and I can talk to you. And then, very precariously perched on a cupboard, I have my new webcam looking down at the surface, so you can hopefully see what I'm doing and hopefully get a bit of a better view than we had last time. So today I am cooking some cookies. I have never made cookies before, but apparently this recipe says that it's really easy. So if it's telling the truth, this should hopefully go very well. If you're interested, the recipe I'm using is right there. So feel free to read it and judge if you want. It is only 2 steps. And I feel like these steps include a lot of steps, and they could have broken them down a bit more, but what do I know? What do I know about baking? Right, let's get on with things then. So, heat oven to 160 degree fan. Okay, that's about there. And then it says, line 2 baking sheets with parchment. Well, bit of a problem with that. I only have the 1 tray, and I forgot to get baking powder.
Fun begins.
Hey, Blunter, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good one. Right, I can make up for only having the 1 tray by using this roasting tin. I'm sure that'll be fine. But I don't have any baking paper, so I might just use my little spray. It's like a non-stick cooking spray. So hopefully that will work. We'll see. Maybe this will completely ruin the cookies. I don't know, but you know, that's how you learn, right? You try things, and if they don't work, you do it a different way next time. So, cream the butter and sugars together. Hey Sam, welcome to the stream. It's going very well, thank you. How are you? So, I want 75 grams. It doesn't specify which sugar to use, and there's 2 in the recipe. So, do I use both? I assume I use both. So quite excitingly, I bought this week. This is a little scale, so I can actually measure my ingredients this time. Which, apparently, that's quite important. So, let's go with the brown sugar first. So I want 75 grams of this. That seems like quite a lot. Okay, that's 69.5 grams. Nice. 74.2, 75.1. Oh, that's now 76. Alright, let's get a spoon and take some of this out. Okay, now it's 73.1. 75.6. A little bit more out. 75.4. 75.1. That's probably close enough. I doubt the 0.1 gram is really going to affect much. Right, into the big bowl that goes. Next, we want 75 grams of caster sugar. See, I would say I haven't, but I haven't because I very rarely baked before, so, you know, it's kind of an unfair answer to the question. Okay. Let's do a bit more. 75 grams of this sugar looks like a lot more than 75 grams of the other sugar. Okay, that's 75.4. Yeah, let's scoop a little bit out. Let's try and get as close as I can. 74.9, yeah, that's probably close enough. I had 0.1 gram extra of the other sugar, so if I had 0.1 gram less of this, it balances out, right? That's totally how it works. In that goes. And now I want 120 grams of butter. So I got this very special Sainsbury's unsalted British butter. Only the highest quality ingredients on the Benign 8 channel. You can get this from your local supermarket. Sainsbury's, please do me a sponsorship deal. I go shopping all the time and I'd appreciate money off my weekly shop. Not that anyone from Sainsbury's will ever see this, because I very much doubt that they know I exist. Right, that's a big chunk of butter. How much does that weigh? That is about half, okay. Let me just chop that into chunks to make it easier to whisk up. Shall you email them? Oh, please do. If the email comes from someone else, they'll know that I have fans and that I'm, I'm actually good at what I say I do. So yeah, that would really help. Right, that's about 60 grams there, so another chunk of about that size. Come on, there we go. Let's cut it into smaller pieces. Okay, so that's only 107, so we need a little bit more. A little bit more butter. Oh, please do. I'm always excited to see people's cooking. I love food, I love eating it, and I love looking at it. Right, that is 120 grams of butter. Let's put this back in the fridge. This all goes in the bowl. There we go. Okay, so I now need to cream them together, so I need me whisk, I think, maybe. Do I own an electric whisk? Is that something that I bought at some point? I'm sure I had one. Or am I just imagining that? I think I might be imagining that. Well, there's not one in my cupboard, so if I did have one, I don't have it anymore. Yeah. Wait, no, I did. Hold on, what's this? No, that is, yeah. Look at this thing. And I just dropped that thing. You stole it? Oh, Blunter, how could you? Yeah, I've got a whisk. Here we go. Here we go. How does this contraption work? So it's too big for the hole. It won't fit. Oh, wait a minute, I'm missing a part. Okay, right, let's plug it in over here. That's the wrong hand, but my plugs over there are being used, so... Oh, that's going everywhere. Yeah, that is not doing much. That's just making a mess. And that's on the lowest setting as well. Just gonna have to take this really slowly, or maybe I can do it by hand. Yeah, I might have to do this by hand. The whisk is too powerful for what I need from it. It's just Butter and sugar together, very nice. Let's use the old-fashioned style whisk. I feel like maybe my butter isn't melted enough, that might be the problem. I might not have got it out early enough. I would have gotten it out earlier, but I've had quite a busy day today, so it wasn't the first thing on my mind. Okay, now it's just all inside my whisk. Get out. This is totally what's meant to happen, right? Hold on. Start getting some of this out. Now, unfortunately, this is a plastic bowl, so I can't just stick it in the microwave to melt it a bit, because the bowl will probably melt with it. Come on, out you go. Out you go. There we go, right. Let's just pop that to the side. I'm going to try and mash the butter with the fork a little bit, break it up a bit, see if that helps. So no, it'll probably be fine, if not it'll be entertaining. It might be entertaining for you, but if I start a fire in my flat, it won't be very entertaining for me or for my neighbours. And I happen to quite enjoy living in this flat, so I don't want to burn it down. Okay, it's breaking down a bit, it's starting to mix in. Get off the fork, please. I am a professional at this. If my mum could see me doing this, she would be so disappointed in me. She'd be like, have I taught you nothing, Ben? You're a disgrace. My mum is a very competent baker, she's very good, and clearly the skills did not run in the family. Send her the link. I mean, she probably knows a recipe without needing a link. She's really good at this stuff. Or if you mean my Twitch link, no, I'm good. I don't think my mum understands the concept of what streaming is, and that's not a conversation I particularly want to have with her. Just tell her I'm on TV. She'd probably wonder how I got a TV channel. She'd be like, Ben, you're not that funny, you're not entertaining. How did you get a TV channel? Why do these people watch you? What's wrong with them? Okay, let's try and whisk this again. Okay, it is all starting to mesh together a bit, so... I love my mum, but she definitely has her moments. I will say that. It's like when I went to uni, I did a computer games programming course, and my mum did not really grasp the concept of what the course was about, and she was not happy that I was wasting my life on video games. Well, look at me now, Mum. Although, to be fair though, once she realised she was wrong, she's been super supportive of my career, so I can't really falter too much. Do I make games? Currently, no. Currently, I work on VR software for CAD data. But I could make a game if I wanted to. I'm just very lazy. And I start projects and then never finish them because I get bored very quickly. And currently my streams are my creative outlet. So I pour a lot of my time and energy into them and not many other things, which is why Sam and Ben will know, because they're in the admin chat and the Discord with me, I've been going incredibly overboard with my Xenoblade planning. Which hopefully will pay off when we get to Xenoblade 3, but we'll see. That's still a fair amount of time away from now. I'm very critical of my own work. I will make something, I'll spend a lot of time making it and planning it, and in the immediate aftermath, when I've finished it and seen it for the first time, I think, okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. But then the more I think about it, the more flaws and nitpicks I find with it. And then I inevitably always end up hating it. And that just makes me quit projects I've started on. And I have that with my streams too sometimes as well. Like, after I've put a stream out, for the first hour or so after stream, I'm like, oh, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. And then once the VOD's uploaded, I start to think, was it really that good? Did people enjoy that, or were they just being nice? And then I start obsessing over tiny little details that no one cares about and checking stuff that aren't really that important. And it's a whole thing. Honestly, being me, being trapped in my head with me is exhausting. And I hate it. That's why, that's a big part of why I ended up having that stream break back in 2021 for like 3 months. Because there was so much else going on in my life that was stressing me out. And I just got so caught up in my streams and obsessing over whether they were actually good or not. And it just sucked the fun out of it for me. I try to stop myself falling into that mindset, but it's not always easy. I think it comes from my OCD. I think it's like a sense of perfectionism that I get, and I can never satisfy it. Right, so those are creamed. They're supposed to be light and fluffy. They don't really look light and fluffy, but it'll do. Okay, so, alright, the egg needs to go in. I need my gloves for this, because I do not like touching raw egg. It's one of the things that I can guarantee will set my hand washing OCD off the most. Eggs and garlic, they're the worst two things for me. Everything else I'm getting better with, but those two, if I touch them, the rest of the day is basically ruined for me. Can't do anything. Again, it's quite exhausting being me. Right, in goes the egg. Yeah, exactly. I think that's true of everyone, but it's just because I have other brain-related issues on top of it, it just gets worse than it would be otherwise. And because I have that obsessive mindset, once I've decided that I have an issue with something, I obsess over it, and then that issue gets worse in my mind. Again, like I said, I try and stop myself falling into that mindset. Like when I find myself overly thinking about my streams now, I try and just distract myself and move on to something else and do something else. Right, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh, that smells really nice. But you may notice one of the things I'm really big on at the moment with my streams and kind of get caught up obsessing over is audio. So you'll notice a lot while I'm streaming, I'm constantly fiddling with my mic, because I've noticed with my current mic, there's quite a difference in sound quality between if it's resting around here or if it's resting around here. So I'm constantly trying to make sure it's in the right position so I'm as clear as possible. And then I will do so many test streams being like, is this volume the right one for the game? Is this one the right volume for the game? And even when I settle on one, I spent ages afterwards thinking, is that really right? Is that really clear? I mean, it must be, because no one has said it isn't. But my brain doesn't always see it that way. Okay, so I need to beat these together again. This doesn't look like it's going to make very many cookies. Although I haven't put the flour in yet though, so that should hopefully pad it out a bit. Although this is actually starting to mix together quite nicely now. Yeah, look at that. Looks like a scrambled egg. I guess technically it is. There is an egg in there, and I have just scrambled it. There you go, kids. Cookies are just another form of scrambled egg. Right, it's oh, that's good. So they're healthy, exactly. Exactly. I probably shouldn't be eating raw egg, but that's nice. Right, next step. Once combined, stir in the flour and bicarbonate and a 1/4 tablespoon of salt. So I want 180 grams of plain flour. When I open this is going to go everywhere, so I'm going to make sure I'm far away from my laptop. Yeah, a bunch of flour just came off. I hate how they make flour packets. I swear they're designed to just like explode when you open them. Scale, if you could, there we go. Okay, oh, that is way over. That is 200 grams. Put that back in the packet. 190. 182, 180, there we go. Okay, lesson learned. When you have flour on a spoon by itself, don't eat it. It's not nice, and now it's like sticking to the roof of my mouth. That's, I might sort myself out a drink, that's not pleasant. Where are my glasses? It's very grainy, yeah. Got some good old... Do I have to cover up the logo? Is that a thing I've got to do on Twitch? You know, I can't let people know what brand drink this is. I don't know. I don't know if it will count as like fake sponsorship or something. Oh. There's not very much left in that. I mean, Sam, I don't know. I don't know. I was just curious, and I let my curiosity overtake me. Thankfully, I have a second one. I came prepared. This is one I made earlier. God, I am addicted to Pepsi and Coke. Delicious cola. That's true. Yeah, my mum would probably judge me very hard if I did. Okay, so bicarb. Half a teaspoon of bicarb. Now, bicarb is actually something I have a lot of even without baking. Because, interesting thing, is that bicarb absorbs smells. So during the summer when it's very hot and my bin tends to stink because there's food in there and it's hot, I pour a bit of this down and it absorbs all that nasty smell. Pepsi over Coca-Cola. Okay, I will say, when it comes to their diet variants, I agree. So Pepsi Max is better than Coke Zero. Diet Pepsi is better than Diet Coke. And I do tend to have the zero variants more just because they're not as sugary, so they're better for me. But when it comes to full fat, I like Pepsi, I do, I really enjoy it, but Coke is just, That said though, you know, you can't go wrong with either, they're both good choices. More of a Dr. Pepper person. Don't hate me, but I'm not the biggest, oh, excuse me, got a bit of a burp there. I'm not the biggest fan of Dr. Pepper, I don't really like it. Right then, how much salt did I need? Quarter teaspoon of salt. What every cook needs is a big old-fashioned load of salt. Put it in all my food. Probably eat too much salt. Okay, that's probably more than enough. Don't want them to be too salty. Yeah, I just never, it's something I've never really been able to get into. I tried it once and yeah, it just didn't click with me. Right, so I want to stir this in, not beat this in, so I need a spoon. Thankfully I have plenty of spoons. Let's get this mix going. Oh, this is starting to look like cookie dough. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, that is cookie dough. Look at that. Oh, I'm happy with that. Right, time for the chocolate. It's 150 grams of dark chocolate cut into pieces. I was going to get chocolate chips, because that's what I associate with cookies. But it said just get a bar of dark chocolate, so we're going to go with what the recipe says. I need a plate. Hey, Chroma! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Do I believe in milk and cookies? Yes, it's a very nice combination. It's not something I have very often, but it's very nice. Yeah, that is a lot of dark chocolate. Believe it or not, 150 grams of chocolate is a lot of chocolate. Had no idea. Yeah, I mean, I only really decided at the weekend, so. But I do these Wednesday streams once a month now, and I call them variety streams because I like to do a lot of different things in each one. And occasionally, that means doing some baking. Oh, this chocolate is a bit hard. Again, I probably should have gotten this out earlier. Let's break this up a bit with my hands. Yeah, how are you doing today, Chroma? Hopefully you're having a good one. Are you excited for that Pikmin 4 demo? Because I'm really feeling the hype now. I can't believe we're so close. Feels like we've been waiting forever. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. My thumb is a bit painful because I tracked it in a door the other day. But apart from that, I'm good. I need a wipe because my hands are just covered in chocolate now. Now, OCD person's best friend, baby wipes. Had to mute the word Pikmin on Twitter. I have forgotten to do that, but I've not seen too many people on my Twitter talking about it. See, the plus side of being part of the Xenoblade fandom is that the Xenoblade fandom is so incredibly rabid that everything else just gets buried under Xenoblade posts, so I don't see anything. Right, these chocolate chunks need to be a lot smaller. So, I'm going to put them in the microwave for 10 seconds and see if they melt a little bit, just so they're a bit easier to cut. But yeah, hopefully you don't get spoiled. I'd like to go into Pikmin 4 with just an open mind, not knowing much about the game. Besides what they've shown off. Okay, that's still quite hard. Maybe I'll try 20 seconds. Stir. Lick the butter and sugar off this whisk. Yeah, you got the Switch ports of 1 and 2, right? How are you finding them? Right, while I'm waiting for the chocolate, I'm going to give this cookie dough a try. Oh, that is magical. I won't eat all of my cookie dough, but that's good. Okay, the chocolate's a bit softer now, so I can cut it up. Get some nice small chunks going here. You can't really see this, hold on. Let me just move everything over. Like I said, this setup's still a bit of a work in progress. As I do more of these, I'll get better at it and get everything going a bit smoother. But you know, everything's a lesson, right? Not everything needs to be perfect first try. Making mistakes is how we learn, after all. Feel a bit slipperier. Yeah, I've heard the controls are a bit odd. Because I found 3 Deluxe's controls a bit odd because they use the gyro and not really a proper IR pointer like on the Wii. I was always having to constantly reset them to the center. And I'm wondering if the new way of doing it might get around that, because they're constantly resetting to the center anyway. We'll see. I'll have to try it myself and I can't really give my thoughts on it without having tried it. Oh, you're playing on the Pro Controller? Yeah, when I played Pikmin 3 Deluxe on the Pro Controller, I hated it. I just couldn't get on with it. But when I moved over to Joy-Cons, I had a much better experience because it was very close to the Wii Remote. Lego building stream next time. That is a good idea, Blunter. Unfortunately, Lego's expensive. So unless someone's willing to donate me a Lego set, that might not be able to happen. Well, fair enough, Chroma. But that's why it's good to have different control schemes, because different people will like different things. Options are never a bad thing. That's one thing I always enjoyed about the original release of Pikmin 3, actually, is that you could play it so many different ways. You could use the Wii Remote and pointer, you could use the classic controller, you could use the GameCube controller or the gamepad. There's so many different ways to play it. I must admit, I am a bit nervous about Pikmin 4 in regards to its controls, because it seems like it's going to be quite different, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I'm also open-minded, you know, I'll obviously be giving it a try. And I'm sure the game will be great regardless. Yes, I remember when they put that update out. I think I actually played through it with those. I don't know how far I got. I definitely did a few days. I think I at least got to the second area. How do I feel about only being able to have 3 Pikmin types at a time? I'm not sure. I had heard about that, so you're not spoiling, don't worry. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because on the one hand, I do enjoy having the whole squad there. It's a lot of fun. But at the same time, I also can see why they would do that. Because there's what, 8 types of Pikmin now, and having 8 of them all at once could be a bit overwhelming. And having to choose which 3 types you take could lead to a lot of interesting strategies. Because one of the things I have noticed about Pikmin 2 and 3 is you kind of just bring all your Pikmin, and then it kind of makes all of the obstacles pointless because you always have something to deal with it. So the idea of having to pick and choose which ones you bring does sound quite interesting, because it's just going to be obstacles are going to be more of a constant threat because you won't necessarily have what you need to deal with them. But it's something that I'll actually have to experience in the game before I can form an opinion on it, I think. What I am really excited about, though, is caves. I absolutely love caves in Pikmin 2. And I'm very excited for them to come back. And I hope they make them as cruel and sadistic as they were in 2. Because I actually kind of love it. I just love how sadistic Pikmin 2 is as a game. Maybe I'm masochistic, but it keeps me on my toes at all times. It's very funny for streaming as well, because you get a lot of reactions out of it. No, I've not heard about how timing works in caves. So I was kind of just assuming it would work the same way as 2. Oh god. Just dip my finger in all of the chocolate. Where have my wipes gone? You won't say much, right? I mean, I guess I'll find out in like a month. One thing I am very excited about is all of the old enemies coming back. Pikmin 3 is probably my favourite game in the series, but one of my biggest issues with it is that so many of the classic enemies just aren't there, and they've been replaced with just completely different versions. And seeing stuff like the Mamutas, the Empress Bolblacks, the Armoured Cannon Beetle was absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to actually play and fight them in the game. I honestly don't mind them. A lot of the caves in Pikmin 2 had like an indoor aesthetic anyway. So this just, to me, feels like an evolution of that. Alright, in you go, Chocky. In you go. Let's get you all in there. I probably melted it a bit too much. Yeah, that's... oh my god. That plate is covered in chocolate. Let's mix all this chocolate in. But again, with the indoor areas, it's something where I think I'll have to play it and see how they're implementing the game before I can really form any solid opinions on it. Yeah, I suppose that's true, Sam. I suppose that's true. Like I said, I have to kind of really see how it feels in the game. Because obviously Pikmin's never been it's never been the best selling Nintendo series. So I do get the feeling that they're doing a bit of a franchise revamp with 4 to try and see if it'll take a form where it's more appealing to people. And obviously that is a bit scary, because there is a chance it could lose what I love about it, become something different. But it also could become something better. Is the homeowner going to be a boss? Oh, I hope so. You know what? I would actually low-key love that. Just commit murder with my Pikmin. There you go, Primer. You got your wish. Although technically it wouldn't be Olimar killing a man. It would be like Pom, or whatever the default name for the character is. Actually, speaking of, I am very excited for the character creator. I'm going to mess around with that so much. Melted dark chocolate is amazing.
Suck on this!
Alright, I'm going to put it in the sink, rinse it off in some water, hopefully that'll come off. I definitely need some of my drink after licking all that up though. Oh, a human final boss in Pikmin would have been awesome. I am interested to see what the final boss will be this time. Because obviously they've been building up the wraiths more and more with each game. And obviously in Pikmin 3 it ended up being the final boss. So I'm interested to see if they'll have a wraith again or if they'll do something new. I'm also very shit. Just dropped my whisk on the floor. Now the Pikmin will find it and take it back to Hokate as a treasure. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens with the Pikmin Olimar looking guy. Because it's weird, but it could be cool depending on what they do with it. Sorry, I've been talking about Pikmin too much and I've kind of just forgotten about my cookies. So, looks like the actual mixing is done, so it's time to start popping these on the tray. Where's my spray? There's my spray. Yeah, I've seen a lot of theories suggesting that it's Olimar after the bad ending of the first game. And that would be really interesting. And it would be very weird to see Pikmin go the Zelda route and split the timeline. But I'm not convinced that Nintendo will go that dark for the franchise. Hey, welcome back, Nivek. Hopefully training went well. You missed most of the cooking, but the cookies are good. I tried a bit of the cookie dough. It was very tasty. Alright, so... It says to spoon them out. But I don't feel like spooning is the best way. I usually enjoy spooning, but... I think we'll get Pikmin 5? Well, I thought we'd get Pikmin 4 if Pikmin 3 did well. And look how long we ended up waiting for that. So, hopefully. But I also am afraid that... I am a little bit scared that the series will go back into like a 10-year retirement after this. Okay, yeah, spooning's not gonna work. Spooning ain't good. Gonna have to go old-fashioned and use my hands. Oh yeah, spooning's great. So you learn to deploy packages in SQL. Oh, I remember SQL. I did a lot of SQL at uni. It was alright. Oh yeah, the Gallo fight can be quite tough. Is it the second fight, the one in Agniratha? Hey, Iron Pro. How are you doing today? What did I study at uni? I studied computer gamers programming. So I did all sorts of stuff. I did C#, I did C, I did C++, I did SQL, I did a bit of networking in Java. I did, what else did I do? I did use Unity Engine, Unreal Engine. Did some 3D graphics stuff. Did quite a bit actually. Quite a wide variety of different things I learnt. And now most of it I don't use. The main things I use now are just C# and Unity. Oh, these are very these are very soggy. Right, the reason why shield doesn't block anything is because you need to level it up. So you'll notice that a lot of arts, when they get given to you in the vision, have a level next to them. And shield needs to match that level. And if they don't have a level, then you need to use Monado's speed instead, so that you dodge it. Did I graduate at the same time as Joe? Yes, I did. Although Joe did a slightly different course, he did computer forensics. So you did programming at uni as well. Just Python. I have not really used Python all that much. It's been something I've been meaning to try more. But I've just never really had a reason to learn it. No, we were uni friends, yeah. So we didn't meet in first year, we met in second year. But there was a Nintendo group running in Derby, and we both kind of went to it independently and met each other there. And then I also met Ben through that, and Ben and Joe did know each other beforehand. And then I met Rin through Joe because they used to work together, but I didn't meet her until 2020. And then I also met Sam through Nintendo Derby, but he was at uni a few years ahead of us, I think. So I think he was nearly done when we started. Ah, you beat him. Nice one, Neva. You see, this is why I say don't use Charlotte, because she slows down your DPS, you fight for longer, and then you die. Whereas if you just max out your DPS and fight, you kill them before you need to heal or use defense or anything. Xenoblade 1's battle system is very fast-paced if you know what you're doing. If you have Ricky and Fiora together, you can build up chain attacks incredibly fast and just tear through everything. It's incredible. Oh, she was on your winning team. See, yeah, she got carried by the rest of the team. The team won in spite of Charlotte, not because of her. Right, okay, it was supposed to make 10 cookies, and I've made 7.5. Got a little mini cookie here. That'll do. So every chain attack, she healed you to full. See, you don't need Charlotte to heal. Ricky is the best healer. Because he has one healing art that is pretty powerful, but he also has good DPS, and he also doesn't have to deal with that fucking overheating problem. Because that overheating problem is stupid. Right, how long do these need to go in for? 10 to 12 minutes. Right, I'll pop them in for 10 and then see how I look. It might chroma, and I'll be very sad if it does, but it will be a lesson learned. But they're the best characters. They're actually really fun to play as. And really, you don't need to learn. You don't need to learn to use Ricky. You spam his status effects. That makes his main move do more damage, and he just tears your opponents. Plus, you can build up the chain attack so quickly with Ricky that you just destroy enemies. Same with Fiora. Yeah, you don't even need to control them yourself. Just put them in the AI. Maybe not Melia, because the AI is junk with Melia. But the AI is perfectly fine with Ricky. Upgrading their skills happens naturally over time. It's not something you need to put work into. And as for the gear, just take the gear you have on Charlotte, take it off her, and put it onto someone who's actually good. And then you don't need to spend time getting their own gear. Because Charlotte does not make the game go faster, because you're cutting your DPS by a third having her in the party. And even when you think she's going to be a useful healer, she has that fucking overheating mechanic. So when you need her to heal, she's all, "Oh, sorry, my gun's too hot, I can't do anything." Guess you're gonna die. Whereas Ricky, you just go, "Right, Ricky, I need a heal," and he goes, "Yes, sir," and heals you. But she's wearing a bathing suit. Okay, you got me there. I can't argue that, you win. Ricky can't wear a bathing suit, but Ricky can go completely naked. You can also give Ricky jiggle physics by putting that dragon thing on his head, and it wiggles around, and it's great. Right, let's start putting some of this shit away. You don't want to see wiggling dragons. Well, that's just a you problem. I'm questioning your sanity after you said that. Why would you not want to see wiggling dragons? Oh, excuse me. Oh, I love Pepsi, but it makes me gassy. No, it was in here, wasn't it? It was actually in the cupboard, not on the cupboard. There we go. And then the eggs. And then where's the box for the scale gone? Oh, it's over there. How are these cookies looking? Not great. They've all squidged together. So yeah, I've got another 5 minutes until they're supposed to be done, so I genuinely don't know what to do for 5 minutes. Dance? How about... No. I'm not a good dancer, and I don't particularly enjoy dancing. Yeah, see, what I've made there is not cookies, but one cookie. I think I should have used the second tray and spread them apart a bit more, just so that when they expanded, they didn't expand into each other. Oh well. I'm the only one that's got to eat them, so I don't mind cutting them up. Alright, I should probably get a plate out to put them on. Yeah, this will do. Actually, what I will do is wash my hands because they feel very clammy. Have I played any Pokemon lately? No. I've not played Pokemon since my Nuzlocke. And I've not played Pokemon Violet specifically since January. Did I enjoy the crystal mechanic thing? I thought it was an interesting idea, especially the type switching mechanic, but I don't think the storyline utilized it very well. The majority of the Pokemon you'd catch would just crystal into the type you already were, making it feel very pointless. And I feel like the gyms didn't use it very well either. Because, say you fought the bug gym, you'd fight 2 bug Pokemon, and then they'd send out a normal type Pokemon, and you'd think, ooh, they're switching up the gyms a bit, making them more interesting. And then it would just crystallize into a bug type, and it was like, oh, it's basically just a third bug Pokemon. I imagine it's going to be used very interestingly in competitive, but I just don't give a damn about competitive Pokemon anymore. What I would rather them have done is maybe sent out a third bug type and then have it turn into a different type. So like, if you're fighting bug types, you're probably going to be using flying or fire types against them. So have a bug type turn into a rock type, and then you've got to play around that a bit, and that'd be a bit more interesting. But unfortunately, Game Freak have a... I don't know if it's... I wouldn't call it a policy. I'd call it just a habit. Game Freak have a habit of coming up with an idea and then finding the most boring ways to use the idea. It's a big weakness of theirs. One day they'll get over it, but today is not that day. Yeah, see, it annoys me that they keep doing that, because the whole reason they cut a bunch of Pokemon was to rebalance the meta, which, while I didn't like that they cut a bunch of Pokemon, rebalancing the meta made sense. It was needed, it was just overpopulated by legendaries, they were too centralizing, and then every time they just bring them all back, and it's like, well, what was the point? You know, you introduce all these new interesting Pokemon, but no one's using them because you brought back frickin' Landorus again. And like, I like Landorus. I think it's a really cool Pokemon, but it's just too powerful. I'm not sure I'm a fan of them bringing back every single legendary every gen and having like these weird mini games to catch them. I honestly think that a lot of legendaries should have just stayed in their gen. And like, if you want them, you've got to go play the old games. Because being able to catch like Dialga every game, Palkia every game, it makes them not feel special anymore. And it also takes the focus away from the new legendaries that they've added. And it just, yeah, Alright, nearly done with my hand washing here. I'm a bit overzealous. That'll do. Yeah, I suppose that's true, but I don't know. Even outside of competitive, bringing the legendaries back all the time just feels cheap. Because another thing, like, they've been doing the legendary, like the catch every legendary in the post-game thing since Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And it was done interestingly there because it tied into the lore of one of the mythical Pokemon. But every time they bring it back, they do it less and less interestingly. So in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you still had to go out and find them, and you had to work out where they were. Then in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they just put them in a dumb minigame. And then in Sword and Shield, they just put them in bloody Dynamax Adventures. Okay, those are not cooked yet. They are very squidgy and very soft, so they can go in for a few more minutes. Was Landorus overused in Gen 5 too? Yes, it was. It's basically been overused since it came out. God, I have a lot of Discord messages. Big cookie. Yeah, they're very big. I probably should have made them smaller. They smell nice though, so that's exciting. Let's find something to listen to while we're waiting.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not.
This is always the bit of these cooking streams that I'm not sure about. It's like, what do I do while I'm waiting
It's
for
a
it to
Sith
cook?
legend.
Last time it coincided with the Direct, so I was able to talk about Direct stuff and what I was predicting, but this time there's not really anything happening.
He could use the Force.
Actually, you know what, let's talk about the Direct. What did everyone think of it? I think it was a weird Direct, but I also enjoyed it.
The dark side. He could even.
And I'm very happy about the Pikmin stuff. Oh shit. Just moved my background accidentally. How do you send me Lego? I guess you send it to my address.
Save people
But
from death.
Lego's
The
expensive.
Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Thought it was meh. Now, I suppose if there's nothing there that interests you, then
Powerful.
it's not going to be that great.
The only thing
But for me, I'm a massive Pikmin fan, so more Pikmin 4 news is always great. Getting Pikmin 1 and 2, I'm very happy about that. I've been wanting them on Switch for a long time.
taught his apprentice.
And then
everything he knew.
the new Mario looks pretty fun. I'm
Then
interested to
his
try that.
apprentice killed him in
I'm not the
his
biggest fan of 2D Mario games, but it does look pretty fun. And then Super Mario RPG, I'm interested to try. I've never played it before because it didn't come out in Europe, so I genuinely don't know what it's like.
Is it
You piss someone off saying that Super Mario RPG is mediocre. He then proceeded to insult you in Xenogames, followed by unfollowing you on all of social media. That seems like a bit of an overreaction. just a little bit of an overreaction. I mean, I can't speak for what Super Mario RPG is like. I've never played it, so... Right, it's been 5 minutes. How are these cookies looking? Okay, they are still very squidgy. They definitely need a few more minutes. They are starting to get hard around the edges though, so... Yeah, that actually surprised me. I thought Super Mario RPG was just gonna live in Square's vaults forever and never get re-released. Actually, speaking of Xeno, the fact that Square were willing to work with Nintendo to do this remake gives me hope that they will work with Monolith Soft and do a Xenogears remake. Because I would kill for a Xenogears remake. I really want to play Xenogears, but there's no good way to play it in the UK. And I could emulate it, but emulating PS1 games looks like a bit of a pain. Those look like cookie brownies. Yeah, they kind of do. They haven't turned out very well, I will admit. They've kind of all squished together into one. Not in Europe, no. Not in Europe. As far as I'm aware, there is no way legally to purchase Xenogears in Europe. Plus, I don't have a PS4. And then Xenosaga is... What they did with Xenosaga is even stupider. Because we didn't get Xenosaga 1, we didn't get Xenosaga 3, we got Xenosaga 2. So we just got the second game in the trilogy. What good is that? What good is that? So as long as they taste nice, yeah, that's the main thing. And honestly, the cookie dough tasted really nice, and they smell gorgeous. They smell really good. Oh yeah, I completely forgot you were going to do that. Yeah, that would be great if you can, thank you. Turns out they're massive. Yeah, I kind of expected that they would be. You know, actually, speaking of that, it's kind of funny that Europe was so shafted on the older Xenogames. Because originally we were going to be the only Western region getting Xenoblade 1. How the tables turn. Ah, awesome. You'll be ready for the weekend then? I mean, if you're fighting Gado and Agniratha, you're very close to... Oh, excuse me. You're very close to where I am. Because I finished the boss fight just after that. Okay, one more minute and then I'll check these cookies again. Oh, it's caught a whiff of them. Right. They've been in for a good 20 minutes now, so let's look at them. Yeah, they're very big cookies. They're still quite soft. Okay, I think they're cooked. I think they just need to cool down a bit. So, just gonna pop them on the side, I guess. But yeah, they look like cookies. They look like cooked cookies. They just need to cool down a bit so they're not so squidgy. I don't want them to be too hard. I prefer a squishier, softer cookie. But yeah, they smell really nice. Okay, this one on the edge here is a little bit harder. So what I might do is cut that one off and taste test that one. Because I do want to taste them on stream. Visually, they're not that impressive, but that's not the important thing. I am going to take a picture of them. I'll pop that in the Discord after stream. Okay, yeah, they are very soft. They're just crumbling apart. But they're not gooey anymore. They're just like... They're more like cake than cookie, I would say. No, I prefer softer cookies. And the best cookie place in the UK does really soft cookies, and they're wonderful. Do you make it into a big sheet cookie too? Yes, yes, you should. Right, let's give this a go. Oh my god. Oh wow, that is... The texture on this one at the edge that's like a bit harder than the others. It's not hard. It's fairly soft, but it does have a bit of firmness to it. It's very nice. The taste. Oh, that is good. That is very good. Bit with chocolate in there. Oh. That is incredible. Get some ice cream for an ice cream sandwich. That is a good idea. I should go get some. Well, if I do say so myself, I've done a fantastic job with those. They're incredible. Yeah, you know what? I wasn't sure if I should have melted the chocolate like I did. But what it's meant that is it's kind of interlaced all throughout the cookie rather than being in chunks. And it's so good. Oh, that's definitely a good idea. Yeah, that was really good. I do need a bit of a drink though. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a massive sweet tooth. I can't eat too many sweet things because they make me feel sick. Well, when it comes to food anyway, drinks. I need a lot of I like a lot of sweet drinks. Egg yolk is 7 levels higher than you. Well, Nivek, that's not a problem, because I beat a big monkey 30 levels higher than me, and if I can do that, you can beat Egil. What are we drinking? Pepsi Max. Good old Pepsi Max. One of my faves. But yeah, I suppose that does it for the stream. The cooking went well. The tasting went well. I do still have to wash up, but I really can't be bothered to do that tonight. I think I'll just do that tomorrow. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for the stream. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will probably do another cooking stream again at some point. I don't know when. You'll have to let me know how the setup is. If you have any feedback about, you know, what I should do with the webcams. Maybe you want me to put some more diverse music in the background. Just let me know on the Discord, and if you haven't already joined, Poppy will pop the link in chat now. There we go. And yeah, I think that's a stream. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will be back on Friday with the Pikmin 4 demo. And you may or may not be able to tell, but I am very, very excited for Pikmin 4, and it's going to be a good stream. Hey, Vicious, welcome on in. That's absolutely fine. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you've been having a good day. And then after that, I will be back at the weekends with some more Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. It looks like Meg's gone live, so let's do a raid and take the fun over there, see how she's doing. You didn't know I was excited. Obviously, I've not been making it clear enough. I need to talk about Pikmin more. Right. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you Friday. Bye!